Welcome to our first virtual York Gala Inspire. It is a terrific day and night, all day today on October 21st. This is the day, and this is where we need you. We need you because this is such an important year. It is, to say an unusual year would be an understatement. It is a year that all of us are challenged, and especially that's true for York. The school has never had the level of situational challenge that we face right now, and that's why you're all here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't care. As I told my television staff this year, the pandemic, the quest for social justice, both the protests, peaceful protests, and the lawlessness and disorder, and then the 4 wildfires that are in our region, it's certainly all taken together. I called it the Great Ordeal, and it certainly is. But it's also given us opportunities to see things in different ways. It's actually slowed us down. Maybe there's some blessings that we would not have seen had we not been in this challenging time that intentionally slowed us down. So that's why we need your help tonight. York, in this challenging time, needs you. And here's a video to give you an overview of the school right now.
On the sunny hilltop of Monterey sits an extraordinary place, York School.
Since 1959, students have been inspired to boldly explore knowledge and discover what they have yet to learn about themselves and the world.
York is a joyful atmosphere of mutual respect where you are always encouraged to be yourself, to stand up for what you believe in, and to collaborate with those around you.
We believe in community, relationships, and coming together for the greater good. As a small, independent school, we value relationships and human connections.
We embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion while we encourage personal responsibility and concern for others.
We aim to be positive and productive leaders with an exciting future, meeting global challenges with confidence, creativity, and compassion.
We are a vibrant community of kind, curious, and ambitious students with dedicated and supportive faculty and staff.
From engaging classes, leadership opportunities, and global adventures to competitive sports, vibrant art programs, spirit days, and clubs, York will inspire you to discover more about the world, others, and yourself.
Hi, I'm Kate Popke, Student Body President. On behalf of all York students, I'm so excited to welcome you to our first virtual auction gala. We would love to celebrate our amazing school in person, but until we can safely do so, I'm happy that we can bring you this event virtually. This year, I have the honor to introduce our amazing head of school, Doug Key. Since Mr. Key came to our school last year, he's been empathetic, resilient, and understanding, and every single quality that an amazing leader should have during a time like this. Again, thank you for attending this year's virtual auction gala, and on to Mr. Key.
Thank you, Kate. And thank you, Joe, trustees, volunteers, staff who worked so hard on making this event happen. Thank you for being with us today. We are grateful for your support of York students and faculty and of the York mission. We are fortunate again this year to have Joe Heston as our MC, a former York trustee, the parent of a York alumnus, and former president and general manager of KSBW and Central Coast ABC. We also want to thank our auction committee chair, Narelle Boyce, who along with Felicia Flegger, led the effort to bring this event to you and bravely faced the challenge of shifting to a virtual celebration this year. We also want to thank Jane Hand, parent of 2 York students, for the beautiful decor that you will see throughout the event, and Grace Q for all the video production. We are also indebted to our sponsors, who, despite the change to our gala, remain committed to supporting York. And now back to Joe for more exciting auction information.
Thanks, Doug. Well, now you should have all the information you need on text to bid tonight. That's key. Now, I am not the expert on this, but you got the information ahead. So as Dan Green would say, well, I'm not quite sure how it works, but they say it will. So you text 71760, and the keyword is inspire. And that's really, inspire is what you will do for us with your generosity, and that's what we really need to see tonight. Our Raise the Paddle this year is going to focus on the school's impact and relief for the coronavirus pandemic, and health and safety, cleaning items, PPE, all the preparation that the school had to take was a cost. The technology for distance learning, the laptops, all of that, all the things that had to be set up, the campus modifications, and ultimately tuition assistance for families that were impacted by the pandemic. All of that is really the focus for our Raise the Paddle, which we'll be talking about in more detail later. Yet you have to be prepared to bid. So again, that text to bid gets set up so you're ready to do that. Online auction, the online auction portion will be open today, Wednesday the 21st, and it will remain open until Sunday, October 25th at 8 p.m. So from today to Sunday. We'll remind you later for the Raise the Paddle segment that we need to see your generosity in the immediate moment. That's just today, only available today. And again, we have that coming up later in our gala, but we want to have you prepared. The school now has already invested over $250,000 to ensure that we have all the safety protocols that are necessary, that we have a re-entry plan in place, haven't re-entered yet, but ready to go. Through the tuition assistance, as I said, and the distance learning. So that $250,000 expense is already there. So that's what we hope tonight with our special segment, Raise the Paddle. That's what we'll be aiming at. I do want to take a moment to mention our platinum sponsors for the gala tonight, Vision Soft Incorporated and the York School Board of Trustees. They have pooled together to be a platinum sponsor tonight. So now I want to go back to our head of school, Doug Key.
Thank you, Joe. Those of you who have attended our galas in the past might remember that traditionally our first auction item is a delicious custom Yorktini for your table. This year, we are doing things a little differently and are excited to welcome Auction Committee Chair Narelle Boyce to present a fun demonstration on how to make a family-friendly mocktail.
I have the pleasure of sharing with you tonight how to make a special York mocktail. Now, when I was thinking about what I was going to do for this drink, I thought back to my favorite drink in Australia, which is lemon, lime and bitters. I thought, bitters, now that's good for a mocktail. It's kind of appropriate for 2020. So, inspired by the bright minds at York and their ability to overcome anything, and mixing that with the bitters of 2020, we have created our very own bright and inspired mocktail. When I see a menu that has awesome non-alcoholic drinks on it, I really love it, because if I choose not to drink, it makes me feel like I'm invited to the party. So tonight, I want to invite you all to the party with me, and I'm going to show you how to make this mocktail. So first off, we start with an orange. You actually have to have 3 cups of orange juice. So we're going to squeeze an orange. And of course at home, you're going to do all 6 cups. I've kind of cheated, and I've done a lot of the prep work ahead of time, because I don't think you want to see me stand here doing 3 cups of orange juice. that wouldn't be very entertaining. And then we're gonna have to do 3/4 of a cup of lemon. So this mocktail I'm doing for you, it's a fruity mocktail with a kick. So it's got a little kick to it. And that's gonna be about 4 lemons to get 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. And then we're gonna do limes. And it's gonna be about 6 limes to get 3/4 of a cup. So this is where you use your imaginations and you think we've got 3 cups of orange juice. And we've got 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. And 3/4 of a cup of lime juice. And then we add to that a 1.5 cups of cranberry juice. Now, if you're good at juicing, you can actually use fresh cranberries and you can juice them and sieve them, but I cheated and I brought a store-bought one. And you're gonna add that to your mix. And then this is where we bring in the little kick, is the lime cordial. So in lemon, lime and bitters, the lime cordial, now in Australia cordial is sweeter than this. So actually in my pre-prepared drink I have here, I've added some vanilla syrup as well, Italian vanilla syrup, to make it a bit sweeter. But you're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of the lime cordial. And then I added 1 tablespoon of the vanilla. So lemon, lime and bitters, if you're in Australia, is actually the second most popular soft drink, which is what we call soda, for families when you go out to a meal, to Coca-Cola. So the bitters are in good company there. It was also, when the sailors came out from England, they mixed it with gin to do for seasickness. So it was bitters and gin, and it was a favourite cocktail actually of Queen Elizabeth II. So tonight, if you wanted to add, if you're over 21 and you wanted to add some alcohol to turn this into a cocktail, you could add gin and you'd be in royal company. But I like to have Malibu coconut rum in mine, which gives it a bit more of a party flavour, not so stiff, so you can try either. This is just a simple syrup we're adding, and it's 1/4 cup of simple syrup. And then you add the bitters. Now it's 12 dashes of bitters, and you can get these from the supermarket in the alcohol aisle. It's 12 drops for a pitcher, or it's 2 drops for a glass. And bitters is to a mocktail like salt is to food. It brings out the flavors. So if the drink doesn't taste quite right to you, then you can always add a bit more bitters. And then you would stir that all up. So now I'm going to use my pre-prepared drink, and of course the mixes are right so the colour isn't quite as red as that. So for this you can use any juice to put the sugar coating on the glass. I use sugar, not salt, for this because it's kind of a fruit drink. Now I'm not a professional cocktail maker or mocktail maker in any way, so don't worry about that, but you see it gives it a nice sugar coating. And then when I do my ice cubes, I like to have fancy ice cubes, so I've actually put lemon and lime wedges in here, and I've got a little Australia ice cube as well to bring back the Aussie flavour to that drink. And then you're going to pour in 3/4 of a cup of your juice. This is really good if it's really, really cold. So I made it ahead and kept it in the fridge all day to get it really cold. So you want to do that. You want to make that ahead of time when you're doing that, in 3/4 of a cup. And then you would just add some soda water or sparkling water to give it a little fizz. And there you have it. You have our bright and inspired mocktail. So you can sit back with your family and friends tonight and enjoy the amazing gala that we have. Cheers. It tastes good.
We hope you had a chance to try your hand at crafting that mocktail. It looks good. We wanted to give you a preview of one item that's in our online auction. This is that item right here. It's a custom-made wooden Lazy Susan with the York logo. A Lazy Susan goes around. It's handmade with 3 bottles of wine. This item is featured in our online auction, so bid right now. This is that one-of-a-kind item, and there's an option with a Falcon logo or one with a York logo. Show your Falcon pride and bid on this item.
Hey Alyssa, it is so good to see you.
Hi Ms. Keith, it's so good to be back here at York.
Hearing of your recent accomplishments, that's just so cool. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. So basically I graduated from Arizona State University's nursing program with a bachelor's of science. It was an accelerated program, so I did finish my program in 3 years. And along with that, I was in the honors college as well, in Barrett, the honors college at Arizona State. So I really just was able to kind of dabble in both the nursing curriculum, but also further education with research, and I did a thesis project, and now I am done, graduated, and waiting for my next adventure in nursing. Don't know where that's going to be, but I'm excited to take on that career.
It is really pretty. It's amazing how fast you got through that program. So let's see, you took biology and environmental science and anatomy, physiology. So
Yes.
what about your York anatomy class helped you out?
Well, I have to admit, I had practicals when I first started at ASU in my Bio 201 class, and I think I was ahead of the game in regards to just the stress of it, and I already had my bearings with the subject, so it prepared me in regards to how I studied, and just in general, I felt like I knew so much more than the average person after that class, and it just helped me, I think, just York in general as I pursued the program and all the information I accumulated along the way from my classes at York, especially anatomy.
You had so much open to you, and finishing your program so quickly
Yeah.
allows you to sort of
decide, and we'll see. Who knows? Because I also really like teaching, so you can always get a master's in teaching and maybe do that on the side.
And you can come teach anatomy here.
I would love
Or
to.
you can teach one of my classes online. You can come to my classroom.
We should do that.
You should totally do that. Well, it was great for you to come by today. It's really great to visit.
It is always great to be back here on campus and talk about my experience and how much York prepared me for it. I can't wait to come back again.
Well, we like to hear that kind of good news.
Yes.
Thanks.
Welcome back. Our gala continues now. I do want to thank our gold sponsor tonight, the law firm of Atone, Leach, and Ray. And we also want to thank Marcia McMahon Zealous for her support. But now it's time for Raise the Paddle. For the past decade and a half, I've had the pleasure of leading this segment in when Dan and Green and I do our annual gala, and we've done those for 22 years, but we've only done Raise the Paddle we didn't put the original date down, but I'm doing the math back 15 or 16 years ago that started. And the success of that in a live event when we're all together, it's all of you. All of you really make it a huge night. And it's hard to replicate that right now in a virtual environment, but this year, York's need is even greater than a normal year. So we really need you tonight. It's exciting because when we're in the room together, I get to ask you to raise your bid card and call out your number, and we all get to applaud and thank you. So we'll have to, again, thank you virtually as you raise your card and step up virtually and using that text to bid. But now I want to throw it back to our head of school, Doug Key, for a little background on what our Raise the Paddle segment is all about tonight.
Every year at this auction, we come together for Raise the Paddle to fund a special need at York. This year it is even more important as we are virtually raising our paddles in support of the York School COVID Response Fund. Here's a short video to tell you more about this project.
I want to thank York School, the Board of Trustees and Doug Key for making One Schoolhouse possible. It's been absolutely invaluable. When you look at student surveys of what they feel that they need during this time, One Schoolhouse is in total agreement and really backs that up. One thing I found really helpful is that One Schoolhouse actually focuses on the benefits of online teaching. We don't worry about what's lost, we already know that, but there are actual benefits and real gains from it, and I'm really grateful for using that. Also, all the work we're doing with these new kind of lessons is only going to enhance students' experience, not just now, but also when we return back on campus. I would also like to add that I'm the envy of all the teachers I know from other schools for having had this wonderful experience. As far as I know, York School is the only school anywhere where all the teachers did this training.
York teachers are committed as ever to providing the stimulating and engaging content that students are used to in non-distance learning times. You might see a few of the teachers leaping through the TV screen at you to keep you engaged and to keep you focused on an abbreviated but intentional pace that continues to provide excellent instruction to students regardless of their distance to our campus. We're also really glad to have available to us some technological devices that help us perform tasks in real time, such as the Google Jamboard. We're excited to keep your students engaged in their studies, and we thank you for your continued financial support to the York School.
The world is a beautiful but sometimes overwhelming place. So I try and help students secure an education to serve as a tool to thrive no matter their path going forward. My name is Heather Oliver. I'm the proud parent of 2 York students and the Board of Trustees Chair for the Philanthropy and Community Partnerships Committee. For 60 years, York School has been fulfilling its mission of empowering students with an education which is both wide and deep. Right now, the need for resources in the form of tuition assistance is critical. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and its far-reaching economic impact, and in some cases devastation, York needs your support and contributions. Many families who may have previously needed little to no assistance now do need our help. Job reductions, job losses, reduced wages, and additional expenses are putting our families in the toughest of positions. Now is an important time to both secure tuition assistance for current students and look towards the future. We do not want to lose these families. We do not want students' momentum to be slowed or detoured. We need your help.
My name is Spencer Smith. I'm owner and lab manager at ArcPoint Labs of Monterey Bay. We're an independent laboratory that, among many other things, offers COVID testing. And in this time, since the beginning of the pandemic, we have offered our services both as the testing and consulting on issues around testing with York School and with York's COVID-19 Safety Task Force. As an alum myself, it's been an honor and a bit of a privilege to give back to the school that gave so much to me. And it's been nice to work with some of the people that taught me during my time there in high school. Scott Johnson, my honor pre-calc professor, of course, in the task force as well. So just coming back to Monterey Bay, coming back to York School as an adult, being able to give back has been something that I've really enjoyed.
Here in the design shop, we have a history of using the breakthrough technology to have a positive impact on our community while teaching students how to use the technology. And so when we found out that there was a community need for various personal protection equipment like masks and shields, our students rallied together and created solutions that the local hospitals and families could use to help protect themselves in this dangerous time. We also got a request from an emergency room doctor at Montage to design and create equipment that would help protect them as they met patients. These custom 3D printed brackets designed by one of our brilliant students, Alan Yang, under the guidance of our robotics leader, Dr. Hannah, helped make these designs possible. Earlier prototypes didn't have the structure that the hospitals needed, and these brackets made them possible.
At York School, we have a long history of volunteering and philanthropy. In the last couple of months, we have done several things in the community to help out. In response to COVID and of course the more recent fires, I'm so impressed and really grateful to be part of this network that actually cares about our own internal but also our wider community. We stepped up, we called, we checked in with everyone. We also volunteered to make sure that, again, not only the things that we knew our community needed, but the wider, larger group of individuals in our local neighborhoods, that their needs were also met. And it's so powerful to be part of this group of individuals, all under the umbrella of York School, that care so deeply.
Hi, I'm Ellen Gaucher, the chair of the York School Board of Trustees, and I'm here to talk about the COVID task force that we created in March. The task force was comprised of faculty, staff, parents, trustees, and Dr. Leslie Galloway, a parent of 3 alum. Our goals were to prepare for a safe return to campus when allowed and to create a robust distance learning program. I'm here to ask you today to please help support the COVID Response Fund. This fund will help defer the cost involved in the safe campus return. They will also help us with the faculty professional growth around distance learning. Additionally, we had more families in need of aid this year than we have ever before, and this fund will help with that as well. So please give generously to the COVID Response Fund. We will be grateful for your contributions. Thank you so much.
As you have heard, in response to COVID-19, we have invested in a number of areas to improve the experience of our students during this unusual time. These investments have strengthened our school. The resilience of the York community is remarkable, as we have come together in a time of crisis to take care of each other. With generous donations from you, York students who might not otherwise will be able to become inquisitive thinkers and engaged citizens. With your help, York School will continue to graduate outstanding leaders for our future, united by our common goal to educate creative problem solvers. We are so grateful for your support to further this vital mission. Thank you for your generosity, compassion, and leadership.
Thank you, Doug. It's a great event this year, a different event, but a great event. I want to remind you, as we start Raise the Paddle, that you need to text to bid. Be all set up on that. The 71760 is what you text. It's on your screen, and the keyword is INSPIRE. Our bid levels will start at $25,000 and decrease from there. And there's a level for everyone. We have a wide audience this year, more, I'm told, than we would normally have in a regular event, where you'd be paying $225 for a ticket. So we have a wider audience that are interested enough that you're here on YouTube. So we hope you will find a level where you want to support your school, because that's why you're here. We want to make sure that you know that all donations are 100% tax deductible. And again, that text to bid is key. Our first bid level is $25,000. I want you out there to ponder whether you could take on that level, a gift so York would be transformational through this coronavirus challenge, $25,000. We do have one $25,000 bid from the York School Board of Trustees. Taken in total, they got together and they're a $25,000 bid, and we say thank you. Thank you to you too if you bid. Our next level, maybe this level is right for you, $10,000. If you feel that that is the level that's right for you, that you want to make that commitment for York, $10,000 in this so challenging year. if there's been a time where you've thought about maybe that's the level that you'd like to give, and you came in watching today or tonight and you said, well, I was thinking about this, that, and you can do that, you can step up and do that, we'd so appreciate it. So if you've texted to bid $10,000, thank you. We want to pause and take a short reflection from our immediate past York Board Chair, Gary Ray, and his wife, Katie Castagna.
So for us, York is so much more than a good place, a good school to send your kids. It's where we found a group of people who shared values that are the kind of values that were important to us as a family and for our kids. It's a place where our students felt comfortable in their skins, which is not easy to do when you're a teenager. And what I loved was hearing Aaron and Hannah both talk about the meaning of community when they were thinking about other kids or issues, and they'd say, well, yes, but at York, we're a community. And hearing that come from them and knowing how much that resonated with the experience we had with the other families here really meant a lot, and I know has served them well as a foundation as they've gone on to do other things in their lives. What was most special to us and what was a common thread for our kids, who were very different kids, was this robotics lab. And we're sitting here in the design lab, and our son was part of the first ever robotics team, and it was something he discovered early on. And not only was he interested in the concept, but it really connected him to a group of other students who sometimes spent hours and hours and hours a day working on their robot. And we quickly got sucked into the whole idea of the first robotics competition and the ability for the school to support that. As they were here, this design lab was developed, and it became a really great hands-on learning opportunity. And then our daughter Hannah came along, very different student, and she too really connected with the idea of FIRST Robotics and spent many happy hours here in the design lab making her contributions to the York Robotics team. And tying it into Gala, I just have to reminisce the first year that they went to the competition. We were actually at the gala the night that the competition had concluded, and some of the students had stayed behind to hear the end of the competition. And of course, you know, it was our first year and we competed, but didn't have high expectations. But to hear them run into the gala and say, "We received an award for Rookie of the Year," was just so thrilling. And I just remember the bond between the faculty and the students and the parents, just knowing what a huge accomplishment that was really special. And thinking now that was a gala night. So it's a great touch point and just an example of the many things that York does and means for us as a community.
But what followed that announcement at the gala was a frantic week of getting a robot packed and getting reservations to go to St. Louis for the international competition. And again, looking at the community, parents, faculty, administration got behind this group of students, the first robotics team, in order to make sure that they were able to attend that competition. That was very important to everyone.
Thank you, Gary and Katie. We now are at the level to continue to raise the paddle, and we need you to raise your bid card and ponder whether you want to step up and help York at $5,000. At $5,000. What a gift that would be. And we do have Norrell and Rob Boyce have stepped up at $5,000. They're current parents. Norrell is on the York board and is the auction chair of our event. So thank you to both of them. Thank you to you if you've found that you can make a bid of $5,000. I will tell you personally that Beth Heston and I have given to York for 22 years, and what a tremendous investment that has been for us. And we were thinking at our virtual event this year that $2,500 would be a good level to be. And we pondered that and prayerfully discerned that we think we'll step up right now at $5,000. So $5,000 bid. If you would now think about joining us at $5,000, that would be terrific. Raise your bid. You raise your bid by doing that text to give, that text to bid, put it in at $5,000. Thank you. Next up, at $2,500, if $2,500 is where you feel that this is the best place to be for you, I hope that you'll step up right now and do that text to bid of $2,500. $2,500 is a perfect place. If in this year you can stretch a little bit, this is the year to do it. With this coronavirus pandemic, York needs your support. We have a couple people at the $2,500 level that we want to mention. Agnes Chen, former York trustee, and Howard Nelson. They like this level so much they added $1,000 and they're at $3,500. You can do that too, by the way, when you text to bid. If you don't like my number, add your own number. Marilyn Calciano, $2,500. And Maryland is a parent of 2 alumni and is on the York board. And Peggy Downs Baskin, longtime friend of York, $2,500. Thank you, and thank you where you're watching this YouTube if that's the level where you chose to give. Now, perhaps the level that you feel this is where you want to step up, $2,000. I'd ask you to bid now on your text to bid for $2,000 if that's the level that you feel that you can make a gift to help York. I hope you stretch this year. It's a tough year on all of us, but together we can for those of us who can help, we need the help. York needs the help. So $2,000 is the level that we're asking. $2,000, I'd ask you now to consider that and text to bid. And for those who have, I say thank you. Maybe the perfect level for you is $1,500. $1,500. If that just is where you feel is right for you, we hope that you will text a bid now. That you'll just step up and say, I'm going to text a bid $1,500. $1,500 is where we are right now. $1,500. I can't call out your bid card. I'd love to. I'd love to be in a room. We all would like to. Next year we will be. Dan and I will be back. I'll speak for Dan now. And if I'm invited, if this goes well, I need your help. $1,500. We do have one person, a couple that we want to acknowledge at $1,500. Eli and Letty Godoy, $1,500. Thank you if you made the commitment for $1,500. Now we want to take a quick pause and get a reflection on giving from a longtime faculty member, Cami Torgenrud.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cami Torgenrud, known around campus as Mrs. Torg. I joined the York faculty in 1994. Having spent over a quarter century teaching York Falcons, I clearly love this school, and I wouldn't want to teach anywhere else. I've worn many hats over the years, but my favorite is simply the role of teacher, interacting with these creative and talented students. My family's history with York runs very deep. Here's a yearbook from 1972, and in it you will see a picture of my brother, Scott Dewar. And during his time there, he was under the guidance of my stepfather, Charles Downs. I didn't go to York, but obviously I joined the faculty in 1994, and in the 2000s, my mother, Peggy Baskin, became a member of the Board of Trustees. Eventually, she and her husband, Jack Baskin, contributed a whole lot of good works to York, and they have over the past 20 years funding scholarships as well as construction projects such as the Gawain Family Theater. My family knows, as I do, that York is a local treasure, giving students from all walks of life the opportunity to learn in an inclusive and stimulating environment. You may not be surprised to hear me say that my colleagues inspire me every day, but it's these fantastic students who motivate me to elevate my game continually and give my very best. They deserve it, and so does York. Thank you.
Thank you, Cami. Thank you for sharing. We're now at Raise the Paddle. We're at a level that has proven very popular through my decade and a half of being able to be honored to lead this. I'm always humbled by the huge response we get when we asked for, will you raise your bid card for $1,000? $1,000 is what we need right now. A $1,000 bid will be terrific in a year when we're trying to hit a $250,000 right now expense for this whole pivot in the coronavirus battle here at York. All the things we've had to take on, all the things to make sure that the students are safe, to make sure that we can do on a distant learning basis, and we're prepared with a reentry. $1,000 would be perfect. $1,000 would be great. So if you will text a bid now, if you have already, thank you. If you aren't right this second, text to bid $1,000. Usually we have so many people, I have to work all over the room. I don't get to do that. I'm just here with you, but I can still say thank you so much at the $1,000 level. Next up, maybe the perfect level for you is $500. A $500 gift would be terrific. If you text a bid now, $500, that will make a difference for York, and we will be so appreciative. $500. We do have a $500 notation here. Many of the York staff have given at this level. And in normal years, as I recall, we see the York staff always very generous at the $100 level, but many have stepped up this year because of the great need at $500. Will you join them? Might you pause and say, can I make that gift of $500? Then text to give now. Perhaps a level that's best for you is $250. That would be a wonderful gift. The cost of a ticket to our event for at least last year and planned for this year, if I'm not mistaken, is $225 a person. You didn't have to spend that. I'm off camera, I'm getting a nod in here, so $225 you didn't have to spend to come to this event. So, and we thank you for being here, but we'd love to have that $250. That would be a great way to say, I support York School. And that's why you've made the investment to come to our virtual gala, to support York School. This would be terrific. $250, if you've done that, thank you. Always at the end of our Raise the Paddle segment, for all these years, the best part of the night is when we start, but when we finish and we see when I ask standing in the room, will you raise your bid card for $100, a table or two of our teaching staff, all the bid cards go up. These are people that make a commitment to the school, that teach your students, that teach your children, that they care so much about their school that they raise their bid card when that $100 call comes. So will you, perhaps it's the first virtual York event, it's the first virtual York event that any of us have attended, but perhaps it's the first Inspire Gala that you've attended. Because again, we have a larger crowd because we don't have to meet in a room and you don't have to have a $225 ticket. There's a larger amount of people here. So maybe this is the point where you'd say $100, I want to make that gift to the school. If you do, text to give right now. You text that information in that's on your screen for $100. $100 taken together from a lot of people will be a great, great gift. If you've made that text to give at any of our levels tonight, you have touched the school. You have touched the school with your generosity. And I want to say to those at $100 level, thank you, and to all of you, thank you. Your support means so much to York School. Your generosity is what lets our school thrive and our community be able to go forward, even amidst this pandemic, these challenges. York depends on you. Thank you for being at our virtual gala on this special day. Be sure to go online and check out the online silent auction. The online auction will remain open until Sunday, October 25th. This Sunday, October 25th. Our Raise the Paddle segment that you so generously donated to, that is just for today and tonight. So when you're watching this, through on the October 21st as it goes through, The Raise the Paddle has to be acted on today. So perhaps you're reflecting back and still want to get in on Raise the Paddle level. Please text to give for Raise the Paddle at the level that's most comfortable for you. Thank you to the viewers of this Inspire Gala, to our volunteers, and to the York staff that made it all possible. We are doing this all because we all care about the school. That's it for me. I'm Joe Heston. God bless you, and may God bless our wonderful York School.